Part 3, Importance of Material Flow Cost Accounting. For this part, we will be introduced to four main contents, which consists of, significance of MFCA, which describes the benefits of MFCA. Next, MFCA and useful innovation. In this part, we will discuss about adoption of MFCA as an useful innovation tool. The next part is the characteristics of MFCA innovation. For this part, we will describe 5 basic characteristics of MFCA innovation. And lastly, on the effects of MFCA to the companies. In this session, we will introduce few positive impacts of MFCA to the companies. Significance of MFCA. There are 8 main significance of MFCA. The first significance of MFCA is the proper understandability and identification of inefficient areas. The second significance of MFCA is to reduce costs of waste production and disposal. The third significance of MFCA is reduce costs of direct materials. The fourth significance of MFCA is to reduce adverse environmental impact. The fifth significance of MFCA is for the innovation. The sixth significance of MFCA is to improve accuracy in product costing. The seventh significance of MFCA is to improve interdepartmental communication regarding the use of resources, and the last significance of MFCA is to increase internal and management control of an industry. MFCA is an useful innovation. In this part, we will discuss about 4 main useful innovation of MFCA, which are, the extension theory, the bounded rationality, theory of reasoned action, and consumer behavior theory. For the extension theory, a MFCA innovation is adopted at a rapid pace, once information about it is communicated through networks. MFCA as an innovation is communicated rapidly among businesses, and it is reasonably expected that adoption of MFCA at an accelerating pace will occur in future. For the bounded rationality, the inherent economic dimension of MFCA are aligned with the basic goal of businesses, that is maximization of shareholders' wealth through a reduction in overall costs and enhancing profitability. For the theory of reasoned action, MFCA innovation offers profit enhancement and environmental friendliness. It is likely that businesses adopt IT in the future, as is mentioned at the website of ISO, turning waste into gold with new ISO standard for environmental management accounting. And for the consumer behavior theory, MFCA as an innovation is not such complex that consumes much time and efforts in its adoption. Therefore, it is highly likely that businesses will adopt this useful innovation to serve not only their corporate social responsibilities but also increases their profitability through effective waste management. The characteristic of MFCA innovation. In this part, you will be introduced to 5 different characteristics of MFCA innovation. The first characteristic of MFCA innovation is relative advantage over current practice, which includes the costs of implementation, expected profitability through cost reduction, expected duration for benefits to be realized. For an example, in 2001, Netflix users paid a monthly fee to receive mail-order DVD rentals. Today, Netflix offers apps that run on video game consoles, mobile phones and tablets. Users are only a few clicks away from viewing their favorite programs in any setting, on any size screen. Netflix has transformed from offering most of its products via post, which was costly and relied on a very unreliable mail service, to delivering content to users on demand. Netflix has maintained relative advantage by innovating in line with the growth of available technology. The second characteristic of MFCA innovation is compatibility with existing values. Compatibility refers to the level of compatibility that an innovation has with individuals as they assimilate IT into their lives. Potential adopters need to know that your innovation will be compatible with their life and lifestyle. Apple's iPad is an example of an innovation that had a high level of compatibility with potential users' lives when released. Many users were able to replace products they were currently using when the iPad was released, such as smartphones and laptop computers, to check their email, to read books, magazines and blogs, and to view videos online. The third characteristic of MFCA innovation is the overall complexity. Complexity or simplicity refers to how difficult it is for adopters to learn to use an innovation. For an example, an Oreo cookie separating contraption is an example of making something too complex to be useful. This machine is another illustration of the characteristic of compatibility. But, the machine size makes IT incompatible for potential adopters who do not have an entire room to dedicate to an Oreo separating machine. A handheld or pocket-sized version of this innovation would be much more likely to meet with success. The fourth characteristic of MFCA innovation is observability. Observability is the extent to which the results or benefit of using an innovation are visible to potential adopters. Not everyone adopts an innovation immediately. The adopted types WHO come after early adopters rely on seeing members of this group using an innovation. Observability extends beyond having earlier adopters use an innovation in view of later adopters. Potential adopters of all types must clearly see the benefit of adopting an innovation and using IT. The fifth characteristic of MFCA innovation is triability. Trialability describes how easily potential adopters can explore your innovation. Trialability is critical to facilitating the adoption of an innovation. Potential users want to see what your innovation can do and give IT a test run before committing. This is the underlying concept of trial sizes for tangible goods, and demo or beta releases for digital goods. Potential adopters can see for themselves what life might be like once they adopt the product. The effect of MFCA to the companies. In this part, we will cover the positive effects of MFCA to the industries or companies. The effect of MFCA is to the companies is where the company is able to analyze a single isolated process, able to model a whole factory production line, even upscale to visualize a product's full supply chain. Thus, by implementing MFCA in companies, industrialists are able to have a better understanding of its potential resource and financial losses, develop larger number of suppliers and firms to evaluate their own inefficiencies, able to effectively target the areas IT can make the greatest savings, and also able to improve company collaboration to optimize full chain resource efficiency.